Now, it's pretty often you've probably seen in this channel where a sitcom's episode premise seems a little like another sitcom's episode premise. That's because there's only so many unique ideas that work on sitcom format on television. But it's not every day that 3 shows not only do the same idea, but almost the same scene structure and climax. So today I've pulled together 3 episodes of tween television that seemingly do almost the exact same plot. You'll notice a lot of key differences, a lot that come with character, and the things that make it unique. Figure out the similarities and differences together. I just like the idea of comparing and contrasting this, because it's like, why at that age did we need to know this? Like, did we all do this? What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, covering TV, music, movies, media, and so much more from the 2000s. If you really like the 2000s, don't forget to subscribe, because we go over a lot of fun old nostalgic content. So these episodes all revolve around one of the dumb characters trying to appear smart. Whether it's to impress a girl or a guy, it just seems like it's focused on relationships. For Wizards of Waverly Place, we have Season 2, Episode 1, Smarty Pants. For Sweet Life, we'll have Season 2, Episode 1, The Odd Couple. And Drake and Josh, Smart Girl. I couldn't possibly put one of these episodes without talking about the other. And the fact it happens over 3 episodes means we really gotta look into this. So let's go over each episode and then kind of break it down. Let's start with Zack and Cody. We start at the Tipton, and we get a glimpse into their room for a really extended amount of time. I'm not actually used to seeing it this much. They're bickering in a way that kind of reminds me of 2.5 Men.
She'll be ticked, and I am not. Repeat, not. Not.
If you see the way these guys argue, it just feels a lot like it. Cody wants to keep the room clean, and Zack just doesn't care. And when their friends come over to play their game, Cody is a lot more of a host than Zack is. They end up in constant disagreement, with their friends even getting in the middle of it.
I'm not gonna have you guys playing Total World Conquest if it leads to fighting. Okay, that sounded odd.
And in this one, Zac Efron actually plays a genius. This is a lot like the Drake and Josh episode Smart Girl, where Drake wants to appear smart to impress a girl. And in this episode, London is trying to appear smart to impress a guy. And it's Troy Bolton.
Saturday? Do you like modern art?
Oh, I liked anybody named Art, and I don't care how old they are.
And he's a genius, and Zac Efron's actually pretty good at playing a genius. I actually didn't watch High School Musical before I watched Sweet Life, and I thought he was actually like this. I don't know why. Which is funny, though, because London actually does what Justin does to her in the Sweet Life on Deck crossover. Yeah, do you guys remember that? In the Sweet Life crossover, Justin pretends to be smart to impress London Tipton, and it doesn't work. Maddie and London are essentially the Drake and Josh episode. This plotline is just completely that. The argument escalates so much that Cody threatens to move out, but not out of the apartment into the closet, just not in Zach's room, which is a really funny concept.
The coat closet!
I miss him already.
Maddie helps London try to impress this guy by giving her a chip so she could speak into her ear, and this is exactly like the Drake and Josh episode.
So what's your favorite class?
Upper.
That's a great one, if you can get into it.
London thinks it's an actual chip and throws it in her mouth, which is really funny. Meanwhile, Cody is having the time of his life, apparently, in this 6x6 closet, which is hard for me to believe. When Zach's trying to play with his friends, they're almost uninterested in hanging out because of how much fun supposedly is going on in Cody's closet. Which how? One by one, they ditch Zach to go hang out at Cody's, which is fair because Zach, you do not keep the room clean. Sorry. London's attempts to impress Zac Efron fail as he keeps talking about anti-environmental stuff and Maddie becomes angry. Like, obviously, they get into a big fight and end up kissing, which I don't know why London wouldn't be super angry at this. Like, this is your date and it's kissing Maddie and you're just casual about it?
Wow, didn't see that coming. Boy, I wonder what they'd do if they liked each other.
Meanwhile, Zack tries to confront Cody, but he sees how cool his room is. And also at the same time, they have like the maid service and the cleaning lady all come in as if it's like his own room. And this bit is super funny, where constant people are coming in. I don't know, this joke is just really classic. I haven't really seen it done in other shows, like making such a small place fit so many people, but it's genius. Eventually, Zack gets kicked out and has to do a gesture to Cody to to get him back. He cleans up the entire room, and Cody is moved, and therefore he moves back. Okay, so that was Sweet Life. Let's move on to Smart Girl from Drake and Josh.
You know the closet in the hall?
The hall closet?
That's the one.
So at the premiere, while Josh is at work, Drake takes a liking to a girl named Michelle. Josh claims that there's no way he's gonna get her interested in him because she's smart, which I would be kind of insulted.
Maybe I got a little more game than you think. Hey, it's for a good cause.
The idea that you can't date within your brain class means that I definitely would never have been on a date ever. But Drake is determined. Candy on the floor on purpose for her to help him pick him up. It actually works, and Drake is managing to smooth talk Michelle. He tries to ask her out for pizza, but apparently she has academic team practice.
I love grammar jokes.
Oh, yeah, me too. I too. Me also.
I guess I never realized how stupid Drake was until this specific scene. It's not even like this girl is acting like she's smart, it's just Drake is acting so dumb. I feel like it gets worse for him over the series, though. Later, Megan plays a prank on Josh where she puts whipped cream on his face. Josh is so fed up with the way Megan treats him, which I would be too. Can you imagine living in a house where you become the butt of somebody's pranks all the time?
I will get my revenge.
Yeah, nice speech. But just remember, Josh, I'm always one step ahead of you. One step ahead.
Josh vows to get revenge on her, which good luck, Josh. Drake announces that he's going to accidentally run into Michelle again, which is stalkerish. Drake, if you really wanted to form a relationship with this person, I don't think you should be so manipulative. Ugh, but it works. He pretends he walked out of the same movie as her and tries to talk to her about it, but obviously he can't.
Did you see the same movie I saw?
Oh, yeah, Beautiful Mucus?
Bountiful Music?
Uh-huh.
She agrees to go out with him and says she wants to explore his mind.
She wants to explore your mind? So how long do you think it'll last? Like 45 seconds?
Drake's paranoid because, of course, when she starts to talk to him, she's gonna realize how dumb he is. So he's determined to figure out a way he can appear smart. While Josh is trying to prank Megan, filling the hallway closet with a bunch of laundry. Meanwhile, she gives him a fake ice pop that explodes in his hand. Always one step ahead.
Yeah, like I'd ever give you the last ice pop.
Josh decides to help Drake and actually teach him as much as he can in order to impress Michelle. Drake is a terrible student, which is not surprising, and keeps distracting Josh.
See, the cool thing, that's awesome. I know. You see, learning can be really great. Dude, Trevor got another pet cobra. He's gonna make them fight each other.
This is like the perfect representation of these guys' dynamics. Like, Josh is essentially like a substitute teacher, and Drake is a resentful student. Josh realizes he could teach Drake through guitar, which actually helps him learn the information, which is awesome. Oh my gosh, I wish they did this in real school. So Drake goes on the date and still doesn't have a lot of information to work off of, so he keeps finding excuses to go ask Josh questions she's asking him. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? That is the rudest date ever.
What do I like about him? Oh, there's so many things. His use of social satire. Thanks. Social satire.
So Drake thinks they're about to kiss. Turns out she's asking him to join the academic team. See, if this were a real sitcom, this girl would be really religious, and Drake would be trying to fake a religion to get to know her, because that's the only thing I could see translating to an adult life. So yeah, Drake's freaking out, because not only is he going to be embarrassed in front of her, but the whole school if he does this academic thing. He insists that Josh help him through the competition, but Josh is like, there's no way.
I wear a really big coat. What? Sorry, Lucy. Efron ain't playing.
Josh, meanwhile, is trying to throw a water balloon of goo at Megan, and she gets to him first. Once again. Drake finds a bug in their room to find out how Megan is getting away with her pranks. Turns out she's listening to everything they're saying.
It's a bug. Kill it. No.
Drake gets an idea that maybe they can use this device for Josh to give Drake the answers during the mathalon. Poor Josh never defeating Megan, like this is so sad. So Josh is waiting in the broom closet and is feeling terrible because Drake has asked him to go against his own morals.
I helped you when you got your foot caught in the toilet. No, you didn't. You laughed and took digital pictures.
It's funny that he's not like willing to do this, like the defiance throughout this makes it even more exciting. And it turns out the guidance counselor from Victorious is the MC of the academic bowl, which is awesome.
2364?
I'm sorry, but that year hasn't happened yet.
Josh manages to help Drake look better and better, answering all the questions right until they start getting radio feedback from a nearby fast food joint. This aggravates not only the team, the host, but the entire crowd as Drake yells out nonsense. But this is definitely one of the funniest parts in the show. It does remind me of when Josh was trying to impress a girl and Drake had to go behind him and play guitar. But clearly Drake being in this situation is a lot funnier. Craig and Eric make a return, and they are so funny. I love how, like, intense they are about the academic bowl. Like, you would expect that, but it's funnier.
We've been talking, and we would appreciate it if
you could just keep your big bazoo shut.
Later, the team actually asks Drake to stop answering questions because of how much he's embarrassing them. But when they get another question that nobody knows the answer to, Drake answers and wins them the game, causing everybody to be super excited, except for Drake, because he is not completely heartless. Michelle to the broom closet to explain everything he did and how embarrassed he is, and she's just impressed that he was trying to impress her. Which is like, you're not gonna tell the judge? Later, Drake and Josh reconvene and talk about how they're going to eventually get Megan back, but they end up glued to the chairs, so good luck, guys. And yeah, so that was Smart Girl. And the next episode, of course, has Smart in its title. Smarty Pants. So Jerry's away at a wizard conference, so Teresa's in charge of teaching wizardry. She gets frustrated pretty easily and hands the reins over to Justin.
That's it! I quit! Justin, it's all yours!
They focus on Smarty Pants, the enchanted piece of wizardware that allows the user to gain in-depth knowledge about any subject instantly. Meanwhile, Max notices a long line of students waiting at a particular water fountain, and apparently the water is really amazing. I don't know how water tastes really good.
Now that is some fine H2O!
So Max and his friend Alfred decide to bottle the water and sell it at school, convinced they can make a profit. Meanwhile, Harper is thrilled to join the Quiz Bowl, hoping to build a new reputation as the girl with brains, rather than just the fashion dynamo, which nobody actually thinks. Alex supports Harper's ambition, especially when she discovers that her crush, Dean, is helping set up the Quiz Bowl in the school gym.
Looks like I'll be helping set up the gym for Quiz Bowl this year.
So far, by the way Dean acts, he seems like some sort of Danny Zuko. I don't know if you guys have seen Grease, but I don't know, he's like kind of like an Italian version of that. But she's in a bit over her head when it comes to wiring the buzzers. Her mishap results in Nellie, one of Harper's teammates, getting a shock.
Does anyone else's hair feel hot? Don't look at me. I'm a girl. I was just making posters.
Causing her to drop the quiz bowl. Without Nellie, Harper's team faces disqualification, which would automatically hand the victory to Justin's team. But when Alex realizes it's Justin's team, she decides to be Nellie's replacement and help Harper.
Alex, you got a D in lunch.
Ooh, ouch! Hit me back! Oh!
Alex recalls the earlier lesson about the Smart Pants and decides to actually break them out. At the Russo family sub shop, Max and Alfred start to bottle the fountain water, carrying it to school in containers and selling it to high demand.
We know you have a lot of choices for your fountain water. We're glad you chose us.
Zeke points out that their plan is flawed because the students don't have to wait in line and can get the original fountain water for free.
Hey, there's no line here now!
Hey guys, when we're done with these, we can use our empties to fill up at the fountain for free.
Real smart, Max. At the quiz bowl, Alex puts on the Smarty Pants and turns her into a walking encyclopedia.
What did we say, Zeke? If it's a guess, it's a mess.
The game begins, and she answers every question in the first round with ease, leaving Harper feeling sidelined. Harper, who not only wants to impress the school with her smarts, is hurt by Alex's behavior and confronts her during the break.
Harper, are you kidding me? Would it hurt you to play along? Really? Really?
Alex didn't realize, so she promises to let Harper take the spotlight in the next round. Teresa has a talk with Max about why he's selling bottled water from the fountain, and her advice is to give it more value.
Portable. You can take it somewhere and drink it whenever you want.
Oh, sort of like those little puppies that you can fit in your purse?
No, nothing like that.
I don't know what the lesson in this subplot is. Justin, as a detective, somehow narrows down what Alex
Since when did you become such a smarty pants?
Smarty Pants! You're totally wearing Smarty Pants!
But in the next round, Alex finds it challenging to hold back and eventually breaks her promise, jumping to answer the questions. Harper becomes frustrated, decides to leave, and is betrayed by Alex's insistence on winning. But seeing Harper's reaction makes Alex rethink her action, and she finally removes the Smarty Pants in front of everybody. Guys, you can't do that. You're gonna end up in a charge. And it's so disturbing because since she wore the pants so long, her legs are skeletal. Which, I don't know why that was necessary, but it's kind of cool. She and Justin hastily exit the gym, hoping to avoid further embarrassment. Harper comes in to thank Alex for leaving because Nellie was able to come back and she was able to get the final question. Max listens to his mom about adding value to the water bottles and gives out puppies with the water. which that's kind of smart, Max.
Don't think I want a puppy.
I'm adding value. If you don't take it, it's a ripoff.
Now that we've reviewed all these episodes, for the sake of discussion, let's just cut out the B-plot, like Zack and Cody's closet scenario, Max's water selling business, or Josh's fear of Megan, which actually does wrap into the main plot, which already gets a point. In terms of love interest, we have Zac Efron for London, being this smart genius, a smart girl named Michelle from Drake and Josh, and the main love interest, Dean from Wizards. Something weird that Sweet Life and Wizards had done is make it their season 2 premiere, like specifically season 2 first episode. They had to, for some reason, cover the topic of a dumb person acting smart, which is kind of specific, but I mean, it's both Disney, so that would explain that. In Drake and Josh, Josh actually tries to teach Drake how to be smart, with him slacking off most of the time. But in the Sweet Life episode, London doesn't really have a second where she tries to learn the knowledge, and Maddie doesn't really try to teach her. Sweet Life and Drake and Josh actually have a super big plot point in common, is the smarter person tries to whisper in the ear of the dumb person. Like, Maddie gives London an earpiece while she's on the date, and Drake constantly runs over to Josh at the premiere to try to get answers to her questions. But the similarities switch to Wizards and Drake and Josh, where those two are having a competition based on being smart. Alex consistently gives the right answers in her competition, and so does Drake, leading to both of the teams' resentment for the main character taking the spotlight too much. Meanwhile, London's only really on a date. It's further than the other characters have gotten with the love interest. But Sweet Life's twist of Maddie and Zac Efron hooking up during it is a lot more creative. Like, imagine Josh ended up getting with Michelle. In Wizards, we don't have a succinct conclusion to why Alex needed to be smart, because she was never really dumb, and that's the difference between all the characters. Like, Drake is noticeably dumb, so is London, but Alex is more cunning and secretive. I don't really see her having a need to be smart. Drake and Josh is the only one that weaved the B-plot into the A-plot, with Josh being scared of Megan, but then finding a bug in their room, which is the same bug that they use as an earpiece in the competitions they have. I feel like Drake and Josh does the best job because of that fact, that they didn't have a sideline plot that distracted us from the main plot. And also, they had a little bit of Sweet Life and Wizards and did it in their own way, having most of the conflicts of both episodes tied into it. So I'm gonna have to give this one to Drake and Josh, but it is a weird coincidence that it happened to be the season premiere of season 2 specifically in both Sweet Life and Wizards. It's also weird that it's in season 2 of Drake and Josh. Like, I know it's the 6th episode, but this is weird too. Anyway, I hope you guys notice these similarities as much as I do, so I'm not crazy. If you noticed anything more from these 3 episodes that I missed, definitely comment below. I'm curious what you guys have seen from this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for all your 2000s nostalgia, come back here for Johnny 2000. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.